So I was in Miami all weekend.
Tell us about it.
Listen, okay. So my Rolling Loud history. I went in 2018 at least once. I went in 2019 in did I? I went in 2019 in LA. Yeah, right before the pandemic. And then I didn't go to a Rolling Loud from 2019 to 2024. I did the one in LA, and we had like a little setup where we could do some interviews and stuff backstage. Ended up not really feeling like it was worth the time invested. This time, Miami, I wasn't going to do it, but then Dub gets me on the phone and he really tells me like, bro, we're going to be in there. We're going to really like get so much content done. Like, you know, I'm going to have a booth in there. You could have a booth in back. Like it's only going to cost us a little bit of money to have the whole setup back there and everything like that. It's Miami. There's, way more, like the bill was so much better than the one in LA. Like the one in LA, we were looking at thinking like, damn, this is like the most dry Rolling Loud that I've been to in a while. The lineup
be there next year,
in Miami looked fantastic, like really, really good. We get out there Thursday, and I ended up, Trapolo Ross came, 1090J came. We had a whole little cool Caucasian crew in the mix out there.
Was Destiny a part of it?
Because it was clanning out. Go ahead.
Destiny is a separate chapter in this story, but yes, clanning out, if you will, sure.
Got top from Destiny.
That's that's separate. Okay. Destiny was not part of the Rolling Loud narrative.
Ku Klux over Wu-Tang, apparently.
Anyway, and so then Friday we go to the festival. We get in smoothly at the very least. But from the very beginning, it's pretty clear this is not ideal because we're talking to rappers. Keep in mind, most of the rappers that we would want to talk to, because, all right, there's a whole dynamic backstage where the smaller rappers are happy to get publicity. There's radio stations and us and, Amazon. You got Wayno doing interviews for Amazon, all this kind of shit going on backstage. So the underground artists want to be back there. But the big artists towards the latter part of the night, they basically get
show them right past you.
Yeah, they don't even go to the back. They just go straight to the stage, perform, and then they leave. They don't give a fuck about doing the radio shit backstage or whatever. Maybe they'll do a little bit of content directly for Rolling Loud in the back, like right in the back. Like right behind the scene. They had that.
What's up, Rolling Loud? I'm filling my contract. Let me go on stage.
What's the girl? The like 12-year-old girl who's interviewing everybody, Jazzy.
Oh yeah.
She was back there doing stuff for Rolling Loud. Whatever. But either way, a lot of the underground artists that we wanted to fuck with. You don't know who I'm talking about?
No, I said he's hating on Jazzy.
No, she's out there.
Big interview.
But no, well, I'm not hating.
Jazzy
but it
got
does.
The scoop
Okay,
he's 12.
They had her. Just to put in perspective, they had her interviewing Yeet in back.
Yeah.
Yeet did not come anywhere near the radio station booths and all that kind of shit. Yeah. But they get her in there with Yeet. Fair enough, I understand. Yeah. But a lot of the underground rappers, for some reason, were not allowed into the press area because there's 3 stages, and some of the artists, to be fair, some of the artists on the smaller stage and stuff, realistically would have kind of been a nuisance in back because it's like nobody's really trying to talk to some of these people. But a lot of them, like okay, in comparison, Vaughn off 1700 was not able to get his way into the back. Now, Vaughn is someone who's big enough that what the fuck does he care about doing content for the local Miami radio station? He doesn't. But he was having a hard time getting him back to even fuck with us. Skrilla was having a hard time getting him back.
You mean like all the actual cool people whose music we listen to?
Like the people we would want to fuck with. Yeah. And so, but meanwhile, like medium-sized artists are kind of like having a better time getting him back there.
And to deal with those sizes.
Skrilla did end up getting him back. Somebody like Boss Man D-Lo, we ended up getting it in with him and everything.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
He's not a medium-sized artist.
But either way, so Jesus Christ, let me get through this. But
it's not me.
I know, but I'm just, you guys are just, motherfuckers, I want to just tear your fucking heads off sometimes. No, it's okay. It's just so hard to get through a sentence sometimes.
You're allowed that.
But anyway.
We do it a lot.
We suck.
I'm just telling you guys about how this went. Give me a fucking break. Anyway, okay. So that shit was weak as fuck. The fact that we couldn't even a lot of the artists were not even getting him back. But okay, whatever. So Friday night, that's what we do. Then Saturday, we go to get in through the same entrance that we went through on Friday. And all of a sudden it's like, no, like the things have changed. You have to go to this other gate to get in. And then, so we go to the other gate. Keep in mind, like in an Uber, racking up the fucking bill. All of a sudden they're telling us, no, you have to go this other gate.
So
And
it's an Uber to the gate? Is that's
we're
how
like
big
Ubering around. It's huge. It's in this like gigantic like stadium grounds, whatever the fuck it is. And like they're just sending us on these dummy missions around, like just it's and they're telling us that the festival promoters are the ones who are basically telling them that people need to enter through different exits each day. So on Saturday, we end up just having to wait around for like 45 minutes. My fucking security's arguing with their security. It's this whole big thing. Finally, some girl from Rolling Loud comes in and gets us in there. Okay, fine. We're in there. But again, a lot of the artists are not able to get in there. It's a huge waste of fucking time from my perspective. And then Sunday we go, same thing. Try to go to that one entrance. Absolutely not happening.
Wait, so you eventually did get in though, right?
No, on Sunday we did not even get into the fucking premises because they were giving us such a runaround. It was ridiculous. It's like such a bad experience. At least when we were in LA 6 months ago or whatever.
That was the day I was coming. I would have been pissed.
I know, and meanwhile you're hitting me up saying like, oh, I'm gonna fly in, and that's why I told you, I'm like, bro, don't even consider it because this is such a fucking waste of time. And yeah, I mean, I felt so disrespected by the fact that they were like kind of almost like going out of their way to be like antagonistic towards the media people who are like want to be a part of this. It was shockingly poorly organized. I can only speak about like the press pit area and people getting into that area because I don't know the fans. I didn't see like a ton of people complaining about going to see the actual artists and stuff, but apparently like the stages and shit were pretty far away from the press area, so they were having to like basically transport people with a golf cart back and forth. And
which is
was
typical for that.
I feel festivals. There's absolutely no chance that I'll ever pay to have an area backstage at Rolling Loud ever again. It was a huge fucking disaster. We did get some content, and yes, we did get to sort of network and rub shoulders with some of the people that we want to fuck with and everything. But overall, just I don't know why the fuck I wasted my time this weekend. It was terrible.
Without knowing anything and just seeing like what it looked like, you guys had a whole it looked like you had a whole setup to do mini pod or interviews backstage.
We had like a little tented area. Honestly, if I were to go do this kind of thing again, all I would really want to bring would be me, filmer, security, and then maybe like a homie or two to help run shit, because we didn't really need the tent aside from the fact that it kept kind of raining and shit, so that was a pain in the ass. But like I don't know, we had like the whole team out there and like just tried to actually like do it in a bigger way and do some cool shit. And basically just got like
Rolling Loud was on some ghetto shit.
Face
they wasn't even on no ghetto shit. They was on some like secret top agent shit. Like you gotta kind of let it flow a little bit if you want content in the back. Like keeping shit like separated and shit, it makes for everybody to get the fuck. Like it's no point of people being there. Like radio shows, they do that a lot. Like Power and all that shit. Like you about to get your ass up out of here. You and your crew gotta leave
because they want that content. You feel me? Like,
right, and that is very apparent that Rolling Loud is clearly like prioritizing their hosts getting content for them.
Themselves,
But don't like make it seem as if we're going to be able to do content backstage and then make it like unbelievably difficult. And I understand also, not only do they want to get the best content for their own socials and their own channel and everything, but they also don't want a bunch of rappers who are going to run into each other, which I'm not going to lie, I did see some people who saw each other that definitely like probably don't get along and things could have happened or whatever. But I didn't see anything like that happen. But it feels like the emphasis on like not having too many people in the press area at the same time was just so extreme that it ended up just being like very hostile for the artist. When you have somebody like Vaughn off 1700, who realistically is probably like the most hyped up drill artist of 2024, the person who's like emerged, who has the biggest fan base, and he can't even get into the fucking area, then what the fuck is No Jumper doing here?
Because they still stuck on the future wave. Like the people who running that are still like
that's Miami.
But they're booking him. Yeah. They're putting him on the fucking bill.
Their little homies are telling them what to do. Like they're psyched to see Future. Like they don't care anything else. It's like just Future,
Travis Scott,
Lil Baby, and Travis Scott. It's like,
but it's everybody. It's like all the mid-tier artists are kind of like seemingly having similar problems with getting into that situation.
I mean, like and I know that we're the outliers here, but I'm pretty sure that people like us go to Rolling Loud to see Vaughn off 1700, to see Skrilla. We're not, me personally, I don't. That's who I would much be more interested in.
Personally, I would not go to Rolling Loud to see a drill rapper. It just feels like it's too big of a stage for smaller artists. Although, to be fair, I didn't even go in, so I didn't even see what the stages were like.
I've never been to Rolling Loud in my life, so I can't tell you.
But
is it dope?
Sorry.
I mean, you've been to a music festival, you probably know what it's like.
Well, like
I ain't been to a crowd of that shit.
It just, you know, and this is where Lush's like hip hop old headedness pops up. Like, I much prefer to watch performers that actually are performing like actual music on the microphone and not like lip syncing and saying a few ad libs and dancing and a bunch of people.
So you don't want the whole track playing while they're on stage.
I would prefer like
the instrumental.
I like
couple
music.
little...
I like music, and you know, maybe that's.
I like a great live music experience. I just feel like I'm almost never gonna get that experience from a festival. This is not me hating on Rolling Loud. People like it. I feel you. I think it's great.
Music that we listen to, though.
And if you want to see 40 of your favorite artists all at once, you could probably do that at Rolling Loud in a way that you're just not going to be able to do at a smaller tour where you're going to be able to see maybe 3 artists that you like. So I totally get it. But like from my perspective, I went to the Warped Tour in 1998, and then I went to Coachella in like 2017.
Was Eminem at the Warped that year?
Yes, he was.
He was.
But then I went to Coachella in 2017, and it was like in between that, I don't know if I went to a music festival, maybe like one other music festival, but like this is just not my world. But in 2017, me and Lena are like rushing to go see Uzi. Yeah. He's performing at like 2 p.m. Yeah, and then we get to the stage, and I realize that he's literally maybe like a mile away from me. I could barely see him. He looks like a tiny little bug. And he's not even on the big stage, which is going to have giant screens showing the person and everything like that. I think that was a big moment for me in terms of realizing that I really don't have a reason to be going to music festivals, because I grew up going to shows in like smaller venues that are a little bit more intimate, a little bit more like you can actually catch a vibe when you're in this like enclosed space with a couple thousand other people, or maybe even less.
They were playing instruments at a lot of those shows you went to. They were actually.
That's true, but I have memories of going to a lot of old hip hop shows too that were pretty dope.
Bro, this is the thing. If we're punching the fucking music in the booth, how the fuck you expect a nigga to perform it bar for bar on the stage? You're not gonna get that nowadays, so you can just write that out.
And I'm okay with them not rapping every fucking word of it.
Rapping too fast, like Chucky Wackham and them. Ain't no way they doing that shit.
No, imagine him without a backing track.
Oh my god!
And
that would be hard
for sure.
You know what though? Okay, I agree with that. But how about this? And there's outliers in this conversation, such as Playboy Cardi. Playboy Cardi literally says like maybe 6 or 7. He'll be on the mic for
when
like
you're outrageously popular. I don't think that's like even comparable.
It's deeper. It's deeper with but Cardi.
No, it's different when you have 100,000 people in the audience that know the words to your song.
Yes, and also he actually puts a lot of thought into his presentation and the visuals behind. Like there's a whole,
or he got enough money to put the thought in.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's an experience.
That's like saying Travis Scott. Duh.
Same thing. It's an experience with certain people.
This motherfucker put roller coasters on stage.
So from an outside perspective, as someone that's never even been to Rolling Loud and has social anxiety and don't even like to be around big crowds of people, my favorite moment that I saw from Rolling Loud was when, shout out to Ski Mask, the Slump God, did a tribute to XXX and performed Jocelyn Flores. And I thought that was beautiful.
You're acting like Ski Mask doesn't perform an X tribute every single time he ever performs ever in his entire life.
Cool, but it hit a little bit different when it's at Rolling Loud and actually going to make headlines to that.
It's just like that's the bare minimum for him. But he's going to do that at every single show. There's nothing unique about him doing that Rolling Loud.
It is, though, because you don't always have the visual behind him with the X, you know what I'm saying, and all that, and all the people. This is like the epicenter. To me, that was my favorite moment of the show. I don't know what your judgmental face is.
We're just looking at you because you're acting like that's something that he would ever consider not doing.
That's what I was laughing at. Don't let him kill your moment. Because he's killing your moment.
Am I wrong for saying that?
You're not wrong.
Right.
You're having a moment and Adam's crashing your moment.
I feel like
as you should.
Okay, every single time a rapper like Ski Mask, who is heavily associated with a dead legend, performs, of course they have to do some songs paying homage to their homie. Who the fuck else is going to do it? You acting like it's unique to Rolling Loud is kind of cringe. I'm not going to lie.